Take 2. Action. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I thought I would do a summer journal tag. Now, journaling is something that I've always wanted to do, but I've never gotten into the habit of journaling long term. The reasoning being, I don't keep up with it, essentially. And I love the idea of writing down things on a daily, weekly basis and being able to look back on those and see all of the things that I've done and have those memories written down. And while I've never been able to keep up with the daily journaling, weekly journaling, monthly journaling, I have on occasion journaled vacations that I've gone on and fun little trips that my husband and I have taken, and having those as keepsakes to look back on and to see are wonderful. The first time I ever did that was when was it? The summer of my sophomore year in high school. I went to Cancun for my cousin's wedding, and I remember being so excited about going, and my mom had a camera for me to use to take tons of pictures because this is well before the time of smartphones, so I couldn't just take a bunch of pictures and send them to her, and I didn't have a way of uploading them on the internet while I was on my trip, so I was going to take all of these pictures and it was going to be great. And I get to Cancun, we get into our hotel room, we're looking around, and I start going through my stuff and realize I don't have the camera. I forgot it somewhere, I never packed it, I lost it at the airport, I don't know. But essentially, I had no way of taking pictures. And I thought, I want to remember this trip. So what I did was every day, I found whatever piece of paper I could. One day I journaled on the back of an envelope that I had, and I wrote down everything that we did that day and where we went, what sort of adventures we went on, who we were with. And although since then, that was over 10 years ago now, since then I have lost most of those pieces of paper, unfortunately, but there are still 2 or 3 that I have, and it's fantastic being able to go back and read those and remember details that I would have long forgotten otherwise. And that's what sort of sparked my genuine interest in journaling. And ever since then, although I've not kept up with it on a regular basis, a lot of times when we go on trips and whatnot, I do try to journal them. And now my vlogs that I post every Sunday have sort of taken the place of that in the past year, but my hope is to kind of get back into journaling some, because I don't record on camera everything that we do, and I think it would be really fun to be able to jump into journaling and really capture those memories to look back on. So this video is inspired by my friend Corinne, who posted a summer journal tag as well, and the original concept was created by Melyyrose, and I will link Melyrose's channel and Corinne's channel in the description below if you guys want to go check either of their channels out. But I'm going to be following along. I have all my questions written out because I'm filming on my phone, so I can't reference that. And I'm going to essentially just go down the list of the questions that Melyyrose made and answer them to the best of my ability. But I thought this would be a really fun video to do anyway, because I do have some journals that I do use on occasion. Question 1. Introduce your current journal, and how is your current journal working for you? Again, don't journal on a regular basis at all. I think the most current journal that I would be able to give reference to is the loose pieces of paper that I grab to write down what I'm doing when we go on vacation and what's happening that specific day. So I don't have any physical book that I can hold up and say, this is the journal that I use. Although I would like to get one. I think that would be nice to keep all of those in one place rather than having lots of loose leaf pieces of paper. So I'm probably gonna do that. And it'll probably be something roughly this size, I think. This is a good size book, and this is a different journal that I have. All right, and question 2 says, introduce all other current journals that you're using, and which journals do you highly recommend others to try? So the first journal that I have that I probably reach for the most often is my dream journal. And this is where I write down all of the dreams that I have, and I don't know if it's normal or not, but I have a lot of really vivid dreams, and I have them on an almost nightly occurrence. And when I wake up the next morning, typically I can remember most of the details of the dream. And sometimes they're multiple dreams of just short little snippets of things. Sometimes it's basically an entire movie that I watched in the course of a night, and it varies constantly. Some of them are very, very normal and realistic, and some of them are very strange and strange. Whenever I have the time or remember to, I will sit down in the morning and write down all of the details of them in here. And I started doing this June 24th, the night of June 24th, 2014. So I started journaling essentially 5 years ago in this journal. And it's been on and off. I think one of the years in here, I have one entry for the entire year because I will just get away from writing in here. Yeah, it's June already in 2019, and I have written one dream down from 2019. So, but it's just some of them are very, very long, and some of them are a tiny little paragraph, but I try to be as detailed as I can so when I read through them again, I can see them and remember exactly what was going on. Typically, as I'm reading them, I can recall the actual images that I dreamt and go, oh yeah, I remember that dream now. So that is that. I have a lot of fun with it. Have actually thought about maybe making videos of some of these dreams because they are very strange, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. The next journal that I have is this guy. It's actually a notepad, but I use it as like journal style for all of my video ideas, and I just keep all of them written down in here, jot down any ideas that I have and my thought processes through a lot of the videos, and I'll go through and start writing down mock scripts of some of the videos and then edit them and everything in here, so I keep this on hand quite a bit. This journal here is the newest journal I have gotten, and this is my language journal. This journal was inspired by Corinne's video where she talked about having a journal for the different languages that she was learning, and she actually had a journal per language, where I have just this one guy that I'm sticking all of my languages in. I just hit myself in the jaw. So in this, the first couple pages are German because I spent some time trying to learn German. I also have some written out Braille in here from when I spent a month trying to learn Braille. I have some Morse code in here as well. And some of these are actually, I will write out the language, and some of these are entries of just English, but of my learning process. There's not a lot in here at all, but I do try to, when I am working on learning another language or trying to sharpen a language that I've been learning, to write in here in that language to better help me learn the grammar and the sentence structure, and all of that is very, very important for when you are learning another language. So this is a very wonderful idea. This is probably the journal that I recommend the most to anybody who does not have a language journal, because this is a great way to apply your mind, sharpen your mind, and to just continue to grow in learning that. This Star Wars journal, I have had this for years, and I not that long ago started using it as an exercise journal. This is where I will keep track of all the progress that I've made as far as my measurements, my weight, what exercises I'm doing, and the intervals between doing them, how often, how not often I'm doing these exercises, and also writing down how I was feeling after the exercise as far as exhaustion level and all of that sort of stuff, so that I can look back and see if I am improving in certain areas, if certain exercises are working better than others for me. I have all of that written down so I can see it and adjust in future exercises. And finally, this journal. I got this originally to replace my old dream journal that I thought I lost, which was this guy. Lost him one day, couldn't find it for about 6 months, and was very upset. So I got this to replace it, and then after writing 2 days worth of dreams in it, found that one. So I transferred those dreams to that one, and then I had this just blank hanging out, and I actually ended up turning it into my devotions journal. So what I do is I have it with me when I read my Bible in the morning, and if anything sticks out to me, or if I have any questions, or if I realize something about what I read that I hadn't realized before, I write it down. And I write down where in the Bible that I'm reading. And this is great to then look back on, because then I can see where I was at that time and look back at different passages and say, oh, that's when I learned that. So I've really enjoyed doing that. I don't have time in the morning as much as I would like to do it every morning, because I am not a morning person at all. So I wake up as close to the time I need to be doing things as possible so I can sleep as long as possible. But when I do wake up early, I definitely have this with me to write in. Question 3 says, show your journal that you used last summer. Compare a journal you used last summer to the one you are currently using. That question doesn't really apply to me because I haven't been using a conventional journal that I've actually ever completed. I've never owned a journal that I have completed front to back of ever. So I can't really answer that question, but hopefully I will have one soon. Number 4, what would your ideal place for journaling be in the summertime? I love to be outside. If I could be outside 24/7, I would be. I love to either sit in the grass or sit on a gliding chair outside with bare feet, have a nice little breeze, maybe a little snack to munch on, and that I think would be the ideal place to journal. Just listening to nature and relaxing, and ideally in the country too, not in town, because I'm sure you can hear cars going by on the roads outside, and not those kind of noises, but birds chirping, hear the leaves rustling in the trees, nature noises. That is the kind of noises I like to have in the background for when I'm doing things like journaling. Question 5, what inspires you to journal during the summer? I think in the summertime, even though I'm out of school and I work and there really isn't any sort of summer vacation for me, I think there is still that generalized idea of summer being a time of break, of relaxation, of freedom, and in the same time then a lot of people go on vacations during summer, and I think that is where my brain sort of kicks into journaling gear again because of my history with trying to journal while on vacations and to remember everything that was happening during those vacations. So I think that whole idea of vacation and adventure is what really inspires me to get back into journaling. Question 6 says, this is open for you to create your own question. Share anything you would like, or show us your next summer journal if you're almost done with the one you're currently using. I'm very much not done with any of them that I'm currently using, but I don't have a journal on hand that I want to use, but I can show this one as an example because this has the type of paper I'm going to look for. All of the dots, can you see that? Yes, all of the dots or an actual grid type paper is something I'm going to be in the lookout for to do sort of daily journaling in a different sense. My niece has a journal, and I've seen her write in it before, where she doesn't actually write things on some of the pages. She had a whole page dedicated in a journal of hers to how she was feeling that day, but every square of the grid was just a different color. So in the 365 days of the year, every day, all she would do was fill it in with a different color depending on how her mood was that day or the day before or whenever she was filling it out. And I remember seeing that and thinking that is so cool. So I want to get a journal where I can do sort of unconventional journaling every day like that. Something that isn't going to take a lot of time, because I know even just sitting down and writing a quick entry could take all of 2 minutes, but sometimes even just those 2 minutes, I'm thinking I could be doing something else right now. I want to sit down maybe try to find a journal that has the grid paper or the dots like this one did, to be able to experiment with doing different journaling pages like that. Or maybe to write down one fact a day about myself or something, and then be able to go through and see those facts within a year's time and see how they apply to me then after filling it all out and looking back on them, if they still apply, if they don't apply. I don't know. But that's the kind of journal that I've been wanting to do next, where it's not the traditional sitting down, writing how I feel every day or writing about my previous day, but to have all of these sort of different styles and where almost every page is something different to do. I think that would be really fun. All right, so that was my summer journal tag for 2019. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know if you journal. I think I'm really curious to know if you journal and why you journal. If there's a specific reason, if it's something your parents did, your mom did, or your dad did, that they have passed down that desire to journal down to you. I have a cousin who has journaled every day for years and years and years and has just boxes of completed journals, and the memories that she has captured that I can guarantee she would not remember had she not written them down is absolutely astounding. So why do you journal if you do journal? Let me know. I am very interested to know. And I think hearing other people's reasonings for journaling might help me get into journaling more, build that passion for it a little bit more, I think. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos that I post. I post a new video every Wednesday and Sunday, a vlog. I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye! And this is sort of empty now. And an idea that I had for this... Kidding. Oh, I forgot about this. Oops. Well, okay then, never mind. Scratch that. This actually had stuff in it. Okay.